Hi, this is Tim David, and in this video we're going to talk about the brain science behind influence. Now, I don't care if you're interested in neuroscience or not. Your job as a salesperson or as a manager or as a leader or as a solopreneur or as a parent is to be able to influence people. And if you work with people, then you really want to know how people work. So today's tip is going to give you some new insight into how the brain works so that you can better communicate. So we know that logic is processed primarily by the left half of the brain, and emotion is processed primarily by the right half of the brain. So now our job is to make sure that logical messages connect with the left brain and emotional messages connect with the right brain. How do we do that? Very simply, we take advantage of a unique property of the human eye. Now, the back of the eye is the retina. This is made up of neurons. It's almost like an extension of your brain. So, there are two halves of the retina. This is really important, all right? I'm going to get a little nerdy on you for a second, but I promise I will make this super easy to apply for you at the very end. So if you think of your retina or the retinal disc, think of it as having two sides, what they call a nasal side, that's the part that's close to your nose, and the temporal side, that's the part that's closer to your temple. So, if I am looking at something that is over here and focusing on something over here, light rays are coming in and impacting, coming through my cornea and my pupil and impacting my retina on the temporal side. That stays. So temporal side is connected to my right brain and processed by my right brain. So neurons on the temporal side of the retinal disc are going to connect to my right hemisphere, all right? So very simple. However, if I'm looking at something over here and focusing on something that is past the midpoint, then light is going to come in at this angle, come in through my pupil and contact my retina on the nasal side. And nasal crosses, so that is going to be over here on my left brain. So here's what's interesting. If I'm looking at something over here, my right eye is going to connect to the right half of my brain, but my left eye is going to be nasal, so that's going to cross and also connect to my right hemisphere, all right? So anything on my left is going to be processed by my right brain, and anything on my right is going to be processed from my left hemisphere. So this is really exciting and really interesting to me. As an entertainer, I did a lot of comedy and magic, and I studied comedians, and one of the things that comedians say is make them laugh from the left, but cry from the right. Make them laugh from the left and cry from the right. So, as a comedian, I might stand to the left of the stage so that I am crossing the brain and I am getting basically to interact with your left brain. The logical left brain processes humor. That's something that'll make you laugh. However, if I want to make you cry, I come over here to my right, and that makes me interface with your right brain. I know it's confusing. Keep it simple. Make them laugh from the left and cry from the right. If you are selling, and if you are trying to influence and persuade, then any logical message should be delivered from the left. So if you're talking features and benefits, even just slightly leaning to the left or getting to the left half of their visual field, if you have a PowerPoint presentation on the left side of the screen, anything at all to move the logic to the left and move any emotional messages or photos or anything that is emotive to the right. So that takes advantage of being able to communicate the right message to the right part of the brain. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe both to my YouTube channel and my email list to make sure you can check out all of the tips and ideas to help you become really good at people. Also, be sure to check out North End Motors. Thank you guys for the hat. I really appreciate not having to do my hair today.